How's it going, everybody? I just wanted to talk about, um, not judging a book by its cover or hearsay from other people. Um, with myself, having social anxiety disorder, clinical depression, PTSD, OCD, and Tourettes syndrome, and hopefully the pericarditis doesn't come back. I'm feeling great. Um, but recently, I want to talk about not judging a book by its cover or hearsay through friends. I met some people through a friend, and I guess they had warned them, or not warned them, but let them know about me having, Tourette syndrome and PTSD and all that stuff. Um, Prior to meeting me. So when they met me, um, one person kind of talked to me as if I was, you know, how do I explain this? As if they were visiting somebody in like a mental institution or something. Hi, how are you doing? How are you feeling today? Like, you can just talk to me like a regular person. My tics may show or may not, um, depending on the day, if they're high or low. Um, but don't think that anything you say is gonna, automatically make me leave the room and, just put my head down and just, want to go kill myself or stress me out or anything like that. Like, there are a lot of people out there that you don't even know have um, anything from OCD to Tourette's or PTSD or depression. You talk to them like a normal person. If you treat them differently, then they're gonna feel differently. Um, and the other person that I was meeting um, was hesitant to speak to me. Like they were a little like scared because they weren't sure how to. But after a while, it was just, oh, just really thought you were going to be like different or maybe crazy because, people with PTSD, they act a certain way, which I've seen people that have bad cases of PTSD or Tourette's but everybody's different. So, you know, just because you're going to be in a room or you're going to meet somebody or be around somebody that may have different issues or conditions doesn't mean you have to treat them any differently. Same with people that are, maybe, mentally disabled or autistic and, um, or, even like Asperger's. There's different levels. It depends on which end of the spectrum they're on. I have a good friend who she has Asperger's, and um, that doesn't make me treat her or talk to her any differently. So I mean, you should try to treat everybody the same way you'd want to be treated and talk to them the same way. There's no reason to be scared. I'm not saying go up to a person that'll walk up and down in the middle of the night on Main Street in a certain city that everybody says, oh, he's got PTSD, he's really bad. That doesn't mean he's, you know, batshit crazy or he's like this terrible person. It's just everybody goes through some sort of trauma, um, or may go through some sort of trauma at a certain time in their life, and they just react differently and they show different characteristics or traits. Um, but just because somebody's one way, you know, or you hear the rumor mill through other people like, oh, this person's this way, and you shouldn't talk to them because they have so many problems, something like that. It's like we're all people. We're all not around a very long time, or we're around for not that long. So just try to treat them the same way you don't want to be treated. Um, my PTSD, it really isn't. When I was younger, it was the fireworks messed with me a lot, because a loud bang, and that was due to the trauma from when I was a kid that I experienced. Um, and my night terrors are the are the reason that my night terrors I have had for 16 years is because of the PTSD. Even though it's not like reliving the stuff that happened to me when I was younger or when I was in my teen years. But I'm not any different than anybody else. I just, you know, I'm just unique. And my favorite quote of all time is, "I'd rather you hate me for I am than love me for somebody I'm not." But just try to have an open mind when it comes to, meeting somebody new, or, not even, you don't have to be friends with them, but if you're at a party or you're at a gathering or you're with other friends and, you know, they give you a heads up, it isn't a warning to treat them any differently. It's just to let them know, um, this person's unique because they have these issues, but it doesn't mean that they're bad or any better or less than yourself. Um, so just keep that in mind when you're out in public, or if you're somewhere and someone may be seem very different. And if you're going through this, be yourself. The best person you can be is yourself. No one else can be you, and nobody else can take that away from you. You may not be the strongest or the tallest or the smartest or the best at certain things or whatever, but that's the only thing you're best at, is being you, and that's what makes you you. That's what makes you unique. And I don't know if anybody out there is dealing with that, because there's a lot of stigma about, or taboo about, oh, this person's depressed, they always want to kill themselves. This person's got Tourettes, they're going to be cussing. This person's OCD, so they're going to be wearing gloves or constantly, you can't touch them, or it's just many different things. And social anxiety disorder doesn't necessarily mean I'm not going to want to talk or anything like that. So it's just a weird experience that I recently had, meeting new people through a friend that we were all just hanging out. And I guess they warned them, but they just went about the wrong way of treating me like I was five. One of them kind of treated me like I was five, and the other just seemed hesitant and kind of weary about even talking to me, as if I was going to snap just because I have PTSD. It doesn't mean I'm gonna go crazy. But if you're dealing with it, please let me know. I'd love to hear from you guys and see how you're all doing. And and on a side note, a funny story. I had worked, my normal 14, 15-hour shift, whatever, however long it was. And I went to a gas station, and somebody was standing behind me, had noticed that I was um, like moving a lot, and they kept asking me if I was cold, and even though it was warm out, and I said no, I'm fine, but they couldn't let it go. They just like, well, you're moving a lot. I'm like, yeah, it's just the thing I have. It's fine. And they kept prying and prying and prying. It's like, I have Tourette's syndrome. It's just like ticks, but I'm okay. Like, oh, you're gonna start, cussing, and it's like, no, it's not. Like, I just wish people would know, or would want to know more, instead of just going off of media, or I don't know where it comes from, or automatically it's like if you have Tourette's, you're just cussing all the time, and and it's not the case. Um, but yeah, anyways, it seems like a lot of my stories keep happening at the gas station. It's weird, but I just got to get my green tea after work sometimes. So I don't know. But I hope you guys are all doing well. And if you have any questions, feel free to let me know. And like I said before, I'll try to get out videos as fast as I can. And unfortunately, right now I have family staying with me, so it's harder. But I hope you're all doing well, and I will talk to you later.